What's up, y'all? Welcome to my 1-year survival Minecraft world tour. As of right now, I have some time between work and school, so I thought that I could use this time to give my world the showcase that it needs, and hopefully gain some much-needed video editing skills. I'm hoping that maybe in a couple years I could come back to this video to see how I thought about this world. And thank you all for joining with me today, and let's get this started. This is it. This is the starting point. This is where I spawned in. I first started this world my senior year in high school. It was good times. I was doing well in school. I got a good job that didn't completely suck, and played a lot of Minecraft in the past, mostly with friends. And we had a few good servers, but eventually I wanted to try to improve my building skills and tried doing this with a survival server of my own. And this is the first village I came into, which basically means slavery. I love it. No matter what anyone tells you, it's not moral. It's moral if they can't speak. If you don't physically hear a no, that means it's okay. Remember that, kids. This right here was my starter base. And as this world was made for me to get better at building, the exterior was not a great start, I will admit. It's one of the buildings ever created. Anyways, the interior was nice. I think I did a good job on this. Could have been a lot worse. But this is where I started, or once I had a Seuss here. So this was always planned to be temporary. However, I did try it just to get until I beat the Ender Dragon, get a Elytra, and make things much more efficient. So I built a few farms. We got the cane sugar, we got the wool farm, PETA compliant cow farm, free range, grass fed. The biggest thing here I also want to do, want to get a villager, whole bunch of village traits. And I think when I originally made this, I think I executed my vision fairly well at the time. Wanting like an overgrown area for them to live in. And I forgot they needed beds. So yeah. This place hasn't been fully upgraded. We got the enchanting room, which I used exactly once. It's a great time. And then my entire source of emeralds for the majority of the early game was this melon farm, which was melon? Yeah, melon, which is slightly compromised from the piston door back there. Anyways, as you see, I wasn't putting in a whole bunch of effort for this first part because I always knew I was going to leave. Next thing coming up is the mob spawner, very basic. Not much to say here. I think I stole off of SuperFlexMan. SuperFlexMan's good, but the only issue I have with it is that they usually don't make their own. The tutorials are very good. They usually don't make their own designs. So the original creators of said designs get like a very small fraction of other views that SuperFlexMan does. I mean, which kind of sucks, but SuperFlexMan does make the best tutorials. So. My main plan for this area wasn't to build a permanent base. I wanted to find a cooler environment to set up my mega bases. Are what I feel separates creative and survival mode. In creative, you can build whatever because infinite items, you have the ability to fly, but you don't actually have a reason to create something that you wouldn't survive. You would never build a storage system in creative. In creative, it may be easier to make higher skill and higher detail builds, but you're never going to have the need to make it functional. Making a base or a build in survival, you're going to have to find a reason to make it functional, and I think the functionality of it adds a lot more satisfaction to the overall build because you actually get to live in it and whatever. Anyways, this is or at least the start of the mega base. I started building this maybe a month into the world. When I saw this valley for the first time, I knew I had to build something here. At the time, I was watching Impulse on Hermitcraft, and I saw he made a cool dwarven keep or whatever, and I was like, hey, that would be cool to build something in a mountain. When I saw this, it was perfect. The first bit of construction was digging this part out. It was either late 1.17 or it was 1.18 that just came out. So I was very excited to use all the new blocks from the new world generation. Down here, this is where I got the majority of the deep slate for pretty much the whole build. This right here is a beacon with haste. Eventually I got bored with how long it was taking to mine all the deep slate even with an efficiency 5 pickaxe and a beacon. So I started using TNT, and I thought it'd be funny if I calculated the average amount of the TNT to resource ratio you would get. So here are the numbers on screen. This is all at Y level of negative 56. It's pretty cool. Definitely, I've never built anything to this scale or to this amount of detail in survival Minecraft. And the color palette I chose, at the time also, I was watching probably what I think is the greatest Minecraft YouTuber as of now, SuperFlexMan, and his base was based in an acacia biome, and he used lots of acacia in his build. So I wanted to replicate that because his builds look good, and I thought if I could also use acacia, and I think it turned out very well. What's this dude doing? What dude? The one thing that sucks about having an open base is that this thing happens a lot. I was trying to create a lore based off this, at least. I was thinking, we have the theme of dwarves, but I want to make it somewhat unique. So I wanted to have the imagery of the acacia tree. We have the acacia lines. In Switchback Bongo, he attributed the acacia to royalty. I wanted to create something more like a religion here. So we have the imagery of the acacia tree. We also have it replicated up here, signifying that the acacia tree is a source of strength, signified by the acacia logs. That's, dissipates our, this is the source of, magic or, spirituality or whatever. That dissipates into the world. And that's what I wanted to pair with that. We have this bubble elevator with with a very color-coded trapdoors. Go into this room. It's probably the part I hate most about space. This is originally supposed to be the bedroom for the space. Originally, a lot of this acacia here was copper for some reason, and I wanted it to oxidize, which was, the black, orange, and blue do not go together. I think what I wanted in an actual, quote-unquote living space in this world was something that would be seemingly more bright and natural and less intimidating, something more homely. I wanted to have have a more visually appealing, yeah. So we created this. I like it. It's simple. I like how we use a lot of the older blocks. All the blocks have been in this game forever. This case could have been built here years ago, before all these updates, and it still would have worked. And I tried to, not completely forgo the palette we have here. So we added this. At the time, I was thinking, like, some sort of like ancient dwarven race lived in the big part of the castle, or of the keep, and then they all left or disappeared somehow. Then a random guy came in and just built his own room here. Is now living in it. And so we have a whole bunch of, and eventually we have the imagery of the acacia tree right by his bed, signifying that whoever lives here is starting to realize the importance of said tree, of the acacia tree. And so we have a whole bunch of cool pets. We got, check this out, we got Frosty, we got Carol, we got the original dog, first dog. I think that name suits him. We got Classic Dinnerbone, we got Rocky, and we got, you met earlier, Seuss, who was the axolotl in the room. And this eventually is going to be an aquarium thing for him. It's getting there. This got my disc collection. This one is incredibly painful to get. This one is easily the best music disc. Easily the best music disc in Minecraft. Yeah. As I'll say, this is the storage room. Welcome to the room of storage. Automatic storing system. It was made by this guy. I don't remember at the time of recording, but his name is on screen. This is the greatest storage system I've ever found in any Minecraft. There's usually the Impulse SV storage system, which can only allow for just for one type of item in each column of chest, and which is good, but if you want like a storage system that will cover everything, and you don't want 13 rows for birch stairs, birch slabs, birch fences, birch gates, you can just have a birch chest. And this was probably the biggest project that I've had in here so far. Basically how it works, you put your items in here. You can put shulker boxes, you can put whatever. Those items will eventually head up this item elevator, which are these Orion dispensers right here. Now if it's not a shulker box, it'll keep going, but if it's a shulker box, it'll go to a separate shulker box unloading station. It'll eventually end up in this chest right here, which this hopper minecart will recognize that this chest is full and pick it up. That's going along the bottom rail of the track down here until it finds the chest which the item is kept in, and it will mark it with a redstone signal. It is appear to have marked this column as the thing it's wanting, which is gold. The items will travel along this line of hoppers right here until it reaches our cabinet that has a dispense of gold in here, which is, it's a lot of work, but it's incredibly helpful. The decoration for this half of the area, at least, I think it went alright. We basically kept the same color palette, but I also added the same imagery of the tree we have the acacia tree spreading out. You know, acacia logs, which before we established signifies like some sort of spirituality. We also have it spreading amethyst all over, to signify some sort of power that it has. I think it ended up really cool. I like it. And then over this half, my original plan was to make this a series of farms. 6 different areas containing different farms. So right here we got our concrete maker with our concrete storage in here. I'm no redstone genius, but there we go. Only press the button once. Yeah, we got a series of farms in each section, and we still have more work to go, but overall I think that's pretty successful for what we have right now. Because we also got my favorite part of this entire area is this thing I made. It will, depending on how close you hit the target, or more redstones will appear. And I think I saw this on like the Minecraft Instagram just randomly, and I liked it, so I figured out a way to build it. And if you get a bullseye, can't see anything because of stupid flame arrows. You get a bullseye. Yeah, I should have chosen a different weapon. There we go. Fireworks spawn. That's not worth it whatsoever. That is cool. I like it. We got another scuffed super smelter. I was trying to integrate it into like a statue of some sort, but I tried like a few different statue designs, and I realized I didn't want a statue there. So now I just destroyed all the natural landscape for nothing, and now I'm gonna have to attempt to terraform this chunk. You see, there's still a long way to go in this base. I still had to figure out what I want to do here. This part, probably my favorite part of the entire upper base. This is the just another portal, obviously. But I wanted to make it seem like the Nether was reaching into the outer world. And I really like the magma spiral I made. Since this is randomness of this build, I think it was very hard for me to do something wrong. I just took a whole bunch of nether blocks and just randomly placed them, in specified areas, of course. But the lore behind this part, I think, is that said dwarven race or whatever who lived here, this portal appeared, and they're setting off. And you can see them preparing over here, set off into the portal, thinking that has something to do with the spiritual tree. And then you can see the pathway it starts off strong, but then it gets more and more sparse, depicting, I think, the efforts they took to reach this portal. And then that's how they left. That's why there's no more dwarves here. What I plan to do with this is an amazing landscape. I hope to eventually make like a medieval town or whatever. Oh, there's one of the Halloween skeletons, nice. But that's a project for another time. Now here we are at the end portal room. This guy's been here for months. I don't know, he's just been here for so long I can't do anything about him. So just look at this guy. What a guy. Just a silly, fun-loving dude. Eventually I'll probably want to build something cool in every whole bunch of like survival worlds have people will build something cool in the end. I'm just not sure what I should make at this point, so let me know if you think of any. And up here, yeah, it's a gold farm. Yeah, the design for the gold farm was by Lil Mango, I believe, and then this guy made a really helpful tutorial about it, so check him out. Yeah, if you never made a gold farm, basically you have a named piglin on each corner that will stay angry, so you'll shoot a piglin, they all get angry at you, and they go into these chambers filled with minecarts, so they get entity crammed, and you get a whole bunch of gold and you get a whole bunch of XP, and it's cool. No, yeah, I don't want to worry about decoration for this one. I just want this one to be a purely functional build, because I can't imagine trying to figure out something that would look good from this side of the farm. Not like I decorate any of my other farms, but you know, I want to put a piglin converter area underneath this, which you know, we can actually do that right now. Okay, first step would probably be to bring all the products into like a central chest or something, because we got them in like 4 different locations right now. Yeah. Actually, let's try designing what we're gonna do here. Alright, cool. I think I figured it out. So let's pretend that this is the chest that we bring all our gold into. We'll just have a simple item filtration system to get the nuggets, ingots, and the rotten flesh. But they'll also produce, so we'll be able to filter all those out. So I'll probably put this straight into where we're going to convert with the piglins. The rotten flesh, we'll just keep it so we can sell it with the clerics. After that, we can get all the swords that won't get sorted here will go to this chest, and then these furnaces, which will end up here, which isn't enough, just a whole bunch, but this will probably make the farm produce 10 to 15% more gold. I just want one main thing in piglins, so there's 5 piglins in this one, there's 1 piglin in here. Well, this is because most of the time these piglins just 5 piglins will keep up with the rate that this dispenser is dispensing the gold, but occasionally land on the left side that these piglins can't reach, so we'll need one here to keep up. We'll put another item sorter in here. Let's see, we'll want to keep, I think that's all we'll need, right? Because I don't need a whole bunch of soul seeds to beat $3. Everything is not in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In these 12 categories. We'll just dispense them into the lava to get rid of them. Alright, I think we know what to do. So yeah, we'll have to find a way to move these piglins up into our actual gold farm. But so we'll need 6 piglins up there. That'll be fun. As I was building this farm, the replay mod file got corrupted, so now I have to actually be insightful. But the construction process was going alright, and then the song "Warmth" by CE418 started playing, and it reminded me of this world I had at the start of high school. I remember spending hours in the Nether not being able to find a fortress, and I always thought the music would be a constant reminder that me as the player, that I shouldn't exist inside another dimension at all, that I didn't belong there, and I should be in the overworld. And every time in that world I went to the Nether, I always had that thought that I should be staying where I was originally intended to be, which was the overworld. This was my base at the time. I ended up getting pretty proud of this build. It's nice to see that I progressed just slightly over the years. That's the thing with old Minecraft worlds. They offer a glimpse into our mental development from years past. I've had the chance to look at some of the worlds that I made with myself or I made with the help of friends, and I got to see what we all made. That would be my advice to anyone. Don't delete old photos or videos or media or even old Minecraft worlds, because one day you're going to want to look back at them and see how much you progressed as a human being. And here it is. This is a somewhat functional gold farm. Fun fact, as I was originally recording this, the file corrupted, so I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just record describing it again. That corrupted too, so I'm hoping this one doesn't. So I got plenty of practice describing this. Basically, all these hoppers go into a central chest that gets oftentimes overloaded with gold swords, but that's okay. Anyways, items gets filtered into here. Gold swords are the last thing, so they all get burned into nuggets. We got the piglin bartering system feeding straight into a item sorter with all the somewhat useful items. So we got all these items, plus we got the rotten flesh, which we can trade with cleric villagers for emeralds. So I think that'll help in our emerald shortage problem. That's pretty much it for this. Is this farm very efficient? No. Is it resource efficient? No. Was it easy and simple to build? I mean, it could, not really. But it's just a coalition of like 4 different other people's designs that I've just implemented. And I think that's really cool. Even if you're not making something entirely by yourself, you can stitch together something the way you want it to fit your needs, which I feel like it's a lot cooler and more satisfying than just straight up copying someone else's design. You just copy 4 designs at once. But yeah, I'm praying that this file doesn't corrupt. I will cry. That's about it for the gold farm. I'll see you back at the base. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today on my 1-year survival world tour. I don't know if I'll make some more of these. I might if I feel like it. I might not if I don't feel like it. But hope you have a wonderful day. And this has been Minecraft with SuperFlexMan.